Hey guys, Desolate Magic here with some a little bit late spoilers, but I actually did that by design because I knew if I waited like 12 more hours, they'd be in English, and they are. I'm sure that helps a lot of people, so let's start with Lantern Flare, a mono white, but not really, because Cleave added in 1 red here, 2 cost rare instant in white. So you know this is probably going to be good. Let's see. So it deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. Nice. And you gain X life, and X is the number of creatures you control. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So, because I was going to say, how do you reference an X that isn't there, but then the in square brackets adds X is the number of creatures you control. So in theory, if you had a bunch of creatures in play and not a lot of mana, you could do more damage by not casting it for Cleave. I gotta say though, that the fact that they drop red and then probably make it better when this is, if anything, like a white-green spell, but then it's acting like a red spell. So yet another color pie bend making white amazing. I mean, for 3 mana you could just exile a planeswalker, so it's not like the biggest deal in the world, but this is basically like a Lightning Helix variant. And if you forgot, Lightning Helix is like a modern staple, or at least it used to be, that is white-red. So I don't know about this, but I mean, this is a damn good card and I want to play with it, so let's leave it at that. Next up, Necro Duality. It's a 4-cost mythic blue enchantment. Oh, this is gonna be good. And it says, I put my fingers into my eyes. It's the only way to slowly stop the pain. Oh, no, I slightly misread that. Hold on, the correct version is, whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Well, I mean, okay, so zombie only and non-token only. So don't worry about this escaping the standard format too much. I mean, yeah, if you're running a zombie deck, go for it, but this ain't the end of the world. Okay, first of all, the name and the art, you would just make a 4/4 zombie instead of a 2/2, so let's just get that out of the way. And then secondly, it actually doesn't have anything to do with the zombie tokens, which are like the zombies you're building, so there's just a bit of an illogical lore break there, but, you know, who cares? So I think it was okay that they actually left Legendary off of this, believe it or not, because if you get 2 triggers, it's like whatever, because this doesn't go off when you drop in a zombie token. It only goes off when you drop in a real zombie, which is like, you know, not that often in a zombie deck. I mean, most of the other cards are zombies, but not all of them. I think that Poppet thing, that's like an enchantment or something, or what is that thing? Like you got that one, you know, black 1/1, and then you've got like the other black creature that brings out a zombie every time you blink or whatever. I'm not even sure that actually another one of those black cards that people play is a zombie. I think it's a human. So it's like, this wouldn't go off all that often. I'm not sure people actually play this, to be honest. Maybe one of. But in the right deck, my god, in Commander, whoa, watch out. I'm actually kind of surprised that they put this in Mythic. So next up, we've got Howlpack Piper. It's a 4-cost 2/2 human werewolf. This spell can't be countered because the Wolves of Innistrad took the pie, the whole color pie, off of some nice little grandma's windowsill where it was cooling and just ate it. They just ate the whole pie. And now the wolves can do everything. So if you pay 2 and tap it, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. You've got to be kidding me. If it's a wolf or werewolf, untap Howlpack Piper, activate only as a sorcery. Are you actually kidding me? So you can free cast any creature, any size, any color, any subtype for 2 mana. I remember an Amonkhet card where all you had to do was swing once and you could summon anything from your hand. This one, you don't even have to leave the safety of your line of creatures. Holy actual shit, this is insane. I can't wait to see the backside. Let's see, Wildsong Howler, 4/4. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Wildsong Howler, look at the top 6 cards of your library. Oh, of course. Why didn't I see that coming? You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Oh, and then that's it. And there's no way to flip it back over except for going today. Well, shoot, that's actually appropriate except for the front runes it. Yeah, this should be banned. I mean, what else is there to say? This should be banned, period, the end. Unlimited free casting with no restriction for 2. Go f*** yourself. Next up, Arm the Cathars. What a concept. We're this far into the storyline, they thought about maybe giving the Cathars some weapons. These humans don't deserve to survive. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. They're lucky Chandra is going to come in and just turn all the vampires into neat little piles of vampire dust. So it's a 3-cost double white because this set, sorcery, until end of turn, target creature gets +3/+1, can I read? +3/+3. Not that hard. Okay, I was reading ahead. Up to one other target creature gets +2/+2, and then another one gets 1/1. And then they gain vigilance. So, and pretty good for 3. I think we had a spell that did something similar to this in green a while ago, but I think it was higher than 3. This wouldn't really help all that much in any deck other than like the white weenies boast, second spell spirit generation, because angels just don't need it. The Valkyrie deck doesn't need it. The white-black clerics deck just doesn't need it. I mean, they don't even really run lifelink. It's like, you're going to win anyway. You'd be better off if this was that Banishing Light clone, But I think, boy, would this wreck in a draft. Or a sealed. So that's probably what it's for. Next up, Resistance Squad. It's a 3-cost, 3/2 human soldier. Now, see, it looks like they're busting into a castle, but I don't see people dressed in wedding anything. I don't even see any vampires. I don't know if they told them when they gave them the art guidelines to, like, draw the castle but make it kind of vague and don't make it look like there's a wedding going on because we don't want to ruin the storyline. And here's the important part. I say that because you might have noticed in the bottom left it says Story Spotlight. Maybe they broke into the wrong castle. It looks empty. That would be hilarious. But like, okay, so maybe Chandra snuck into the wedding. Spoiler alert, like super ultra meta spoiler here. I'm hearing it's Audric. Word is Audric got turned into a vampire. That's the one. Well, I mean, we've got pretty strong evidence that they both snuck into the wedding or whatever somehow. But I think that he drops the L something German sounding whatever barrier, and then boom, we get this card. But they all forgot their garlic necklaces. They're probably going to lose. At least that guy in the back has a lightsaber. That'll ruin a vampire's day. But anyway, it's a 3-cost white human soldier 3/2. And when Resistance Squad enters the battlefield, if you control another human, draw a card. Yeah, float them. Let's see, this is just a good card. Why can't they do just good cards? Next up, we've got Radiant Grace. It's a 1-cost white aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has vigilance. When enchanted creature dies, return Radiant Grace to the battlefield, transformed under under your control, attached to target opponent. Oh, that's right. White gets curses now. You've got to be kidding me. Not unheard of. Usually it's a spell jamming one, but, well, on the back it says enchanted player, creatures enchanted player controls enter the battlefield tapped. So that is a pretty white effect, but like, honestly, since when does white get curses? That's, like I said, white and green, they got the whole color pie plus some shit magic made up that wasn't even on the color pie. So next up we got Magma Pummeler. It's a double red plus X/0/0 elemental, and it enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. If damage will be dealt to Magma Pummeler while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that many +1/+1 counters from it. Okay, it's been a while since we had one of those. Those are kind of cool. Little extra durability. You get to have a little fun swing without necessarily losing your creature. I do like that. By the way, just found out 5 seconds ago that Aaron Rodgers of the Packers has COVID, so there goes our season. Thought I'd throw that one in there. Shit. Very relevant to this card. Very, very relevant. Wait a minute. Let's draft this guy. He looks like he could be a quarterback that never throws it and always keeps the ball. So kind of like Kaepernick, but actually talented. Anyway, whenever one or more counters are removed from Magma Pummeler this way, it deals that much damage to any target. Oh, that's a spicy boy. So like, okay, you hit him with a kill spell, he's gone. But try and kill him in combat, and you're going to get like the junior version of the Phyrexian Obliterator coming at your face there. If you're not familiar, one of my favorite cards of all time, Phyrexian Obliterator, whenever it takes combat damage, for each point of damage, the person who caused it or something like that has to sacrifice that many permanents. So this is not that. At least he doesn't split off into more tokens. I don't know why, but I just hate that effect. So next up, we've got Allenbach Escort. Ooh, stuck on the escort mission. Just God mode, glitch the AI, teleport him, go through a wall, trust me. Trust me, it's not worth it doing this legit. So anyway, 1-cost 1/1 human cleric with vigilance. Okay, I like that. Sacrifice Allenbach, whoever this is. I'll just say sacrifice Ali. Target creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. Oh, so it's like that selfless savior dog, except complete shit. All I'm saying is that's a bit narrow. I mean, in the right deck, it's good. Which, nothing wrong with that. Next up, Curse of Hospitality. Oh, I get it. Every color gets a curse now. Okay, now it makes a little bit more sense. So it's a 3-cost red or a curse. Although this works drastically different than the white one. I'm not actually 100% sure that that's a cycle, but we'll see. So enchant player, creatures attacking enchanted player have trample. Ouch. And whenever a creature deals combat damage to an enchanted player, that player exiles the top card of their library until end of turn. Oh, I hate this. That creature's controller may play that card, and they may spend mana as though it were any color. You guys know my policy, which I've stated before, is, word for word, swiper no swiping. Comma, keep your dirty, grubby little hands off my cards. Those are my cards, asshole. That is and forever shall be my opinion, forever and ever, amen. So I hate this. Next up, Laid to Rest. It's 4-cost green enchantment. Somehow not a curse, but I'm sure it's coming. Whenever a human you control dies, draw a card. Okay, for 4, I mean, all right. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, you gain 2 life. So if you're thinking, okay, I mean, there was an existing kind of counter dump deck. No, they're talking about training. All of these cards in the context of training. Now, I don't think they'll end up that way, but just keep in mind, if you think there's all kinds of support for this, there's not, because training is garbage. So I will say, green has too much card draw already, but it's like, Colossal Majesty or whatever that stupid card is. So I don't think you'd play that and this together in a green deck of any sort. So I kind of like this. You only get another card if you just lost a creature. So it's like you can't draw another card unless that just happened. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Next up, Scattered Thoughts. Everybody loves a good homunculus, or as I like to call it, my homie, munculus. So it's a 4-cost blue instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of those cards in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. Oh, why don't you just take this card, Wizards, and go f*** yourself. Go straight back to hell with this f***ing bullshit. Here's the problem. Okay, nothing wrong with this card except for the whole cramming is it into every single set. But specifically, we now have Scattered Thoughts and Memory Deluge and Alrund's Epiphany and the other extra turns card. So it's not just they made it twice as bad. In case you're not familiar with math, they have made it 4 times as bad, or I guess I should say 4 times as consistent. So if you thought the turns deck was bad before, wait until you get Memory Deluge plus Scattered Thoughts, and then you get, Epiphany, and then the other f***ing card. That deck is already absolute hell on earth to play against. Now it gets more consistent. You've got to be kidding me. With these 2 cards they added, you are never taking another turn as long as they get to 4 mana. It's just over. What an absolute crock of horse shit. So let's move on to something that isn't a complete disaster. Syncopate, one of my favorite spells of all time. Too bad they didn't bring the finger waving artwork back, but yeah, this one looks cool too, but still. So, counter target spell unless its controller pays X, and it's just blue plus X, straight up, and then if it's countered, exile it. This is exactly what we needed in the current meta. Next up, Abrade, the last f***ing thing we needed in the current meta. Okay, Wizards, let me tell you how to do your job again, because clearly you don't know. 1, stop printing Storm, stop printing the Is It Guild over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And 2, if everybody wanted a card banned when it was legal, but you were too much of pansy-ass little bitches to actually ban it, at the very f***ing least, don't reprint it in another set 2 years later. I feel stupider just having to say that out loud. Anyway, you know what Abrade does. Let's move on. I'm sick of looking at it. Next up, we've got Retrieve. Because green is now also black, we've got a 3-cost sorcery, return up to 1 target creature card and up to 1 target non-creature permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, exile, retrieve. You know it's bad when they had to put exile on it to make sure that you can only cast it once, because obviously that solved all the problems with Alrund's Epiphany. It's basically unplayable now that you can only cast it once and then clone it on the stack. And then use one of 3 different spells to just go get another one during your turn and then take another extra turn. It's fine, everybody. It exiles itself. Everything's fine. Okay, just imagine the top 10 most unbelievably obnoxious, overpowered, abusive shit cards in green and pretend they just brought it back. And then took a land with it 2 for 3. Yeah, this card's going way too far. Next up, Diver Scab. 5-cost 3/5 zombie and exploit. I forgot that was in here. When Diver Scab enters the battlefield, target creature's owner puts it on the bottom or top or bottom of their library. I can read. So you exploit it and then just put it back and draw it? Like, I got an idea. Don't kill it in the first place for a shitty 3/5. Next up, Bloodsworn Squire. It's a 4-cost 3/3, and it's about to be turned into ashes by Chandra. And if you pay 2 and discard a card, Bloodsworn Squire gains indestructible till end of turn. That's annoying. Tap it, then oh good, okay. And then if there are 4 more cards or creature cards in your graveyard, transform it into Bloodsworn Knight. Its power toughness are equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Okay, so it's literally just Night Howler, except debatably harder to kill. And then if you pay 2 and discard a card, it gains indestructible till end of turn. Tap it. So this is going to be completely impossible to stop. We've had cards before that gain indestructible when you discard a card, and they were obnoxious as shit and should have been banned. Everybody basically threw a party when they cycled out. And so Wizards was like, hold my beer, and then just brought it back. This is the worst design set I have ever seen in my life. This blasts past Ikoria. This leaves Eldraine in the dust. If you think the turns deck is not worse than Oko, you are out of your mind. I could use one Planeswalker kill spell and stop Oko. What do you do to stop an Alrund's Epiphany Unlimited turns deck? Case closed, bang gavel, the end. Let's move on to a different card. So Dollhouse of Horrors, it's a 5-cost artifact, colorless obviously. Well, not obviously anymore, everything's colored artifacts. And if you pay 1 and tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card. Holy shit. Oh, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types, and has this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. Oh, that is like actually an interesting card. Okay. And then it gains haste until end of turn. Okay. Activate only as a sorcery. So this costs 5, so you better like really have a plan, but then you gotta have a loaded graveyard by the time you bring it out anyway. So, you know, it's gonna help you on turn 3. But you can bring something back, but it's gonna be small. So everybody's like, oh, well, that's fine. I mean, what are you gonna bring back, like, you know, a 10/10 Trampler? Well, no, you're not. But what if it had some just crazy ETB effect, which, like, Hostage Taker isn't legal anymore, but there's probably something, some kind of bounce card or something. At least you do exile the creature card from your graveyard so you can't hit it again after it dies because, well, it's not really out there. The card is gone, the replica is a token. So you can't just like loop stuff from the graveyard over and over and over because, you know, we already have one card that does that already in standard. Oops. It's a 5/7 reach green guy. He can just loop Evolving Wilds every single turn. Double landfall trigger. Wizards done did an oopsie. But yeah, I mean, if you had something with like a horrific triggered ability, a horrific ETB ability, a horrific on-death ability, well, now there it is again, and it's even easier to kill this time. So yeah, not a big fan of this. But it is like neat though. Like it's an interesting card because you got the huge upside and the huge downside. It's a big mana investment, but then after that, just pay 1, tap it, and let's go. I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm kind of leaning towards I kind of like it, but I don't know. You could do some really messed up stuff with this. But my god, put this in your commander deck. Hell yes. Next up, Wedding Security. Haha, prepare to die, bitch. It's a 5-cost double black vampire soldier, and whenever Wedding Security attacks, you may sacrifice a blood token. That's right, those are a thing. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Wedding Security and draw a card. Well, it's a 4/4, but at least you get a card out of it. But yeah, okay. So it's a defensive guard that sits there and waits for somebody to attack the wedding, so they gave it an on-attack instead of on-block effect. Somebody didn't think that one through. So we've got Sigarda's Imprisonment. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Story Spotlight card. I knew it. They're finally explaining what's going on here. I'm going to read the hell out of this lore. It's a 3-cost white aura and enchant creature. Oh, it's obviously just, yeah. Obviously another pin down. Enchanted creature can attack or block, and then if you pay 5, you can exile it and then create a blood token. Which is weird because you're playing white and you're like on the side of the village people. So that makes all the sense. I don't know what they're going to do with the Vial of Blood, but all right. So next up, Falconwrath Forebear. So Forebear cards are back, okay. It's actually I think, was it a Forebearer last time? I don't know, Ixalan was a disaster. So 3/1 for 3 in black, mono black, oh my. It is possible to print something without double black at its cost. Who would have thought? And it's flying, it can't block, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a blood token. Okay, pretty good card there. And if you pay 1 black, sacrifice 2 blood tokens, return Falconwrath Forebear from your graveyard to the battlefield. See, a resurrector of a mid-range card that's annoying and can attack, and that you would attack every turn with because it can't block anyway. It's just a throwaway card, who cares? But you can only resurrect it so many times before you just run out of the ability to resurrect it, and all of your like blood counts go down for your other cards. It's a positive and a negative and an appropriately powered resurrection recursion ability. It is possible. Holy shit. I'm telling you, one person at Wizards gets it. One person knows how to design cards. The rest of the people who work there design the rest of the cards. So next up, oh, hell yes, freaking Ghost Cat. Somebody make this the mayor of Innistrad or whatever. Please tell me this is the most powerful planeswalker that has ever lived. Without even reading it, 10 out of 10. So it's a 2-cost cat spirit 1/1 in blue, and whenever Mischievous Catgeist deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Awesome. And then Disturb 3. You know, every time you kill it, it should just split into 2 more cats. Because 9 lives, get it? Like, why would you even give it Disturb? It doesn't even make sense. How is it already a spirit? How do you disturb a spirit? How does a spirit die? I don't get it. So anyway, on the backside, it turns into an aura. It's this weirdo, and enchanted creature has whatever this, obviously, creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and then if it goes away, it goes to exile. Well, I mean, Rogue's Gloves is a better card, but, you know, I take it back. This one's better because it has a cat on it. Next up, we've got Godzilla. Great. So it's a triple green 7 cost, which is below 50%, so they might as well have not even bothered. But Cultivator Colossus, it's a plant beast. Oh, see, that's what you sick on the vampires. Plants. They hate plants. Might I remind you, garlic is a plant. Honestly, I don't think they like you, burn and sage either. So it's a star trample, and its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Oh, because we needed another one of those, but with trample. Thanks for that. Because what was that? Whatever the hell Brontodon. That wasn't bad enough. Although that one's double the number of lands you have, but only during combat. Honestly, I'll take trample over that, just saying. But when Cultivator Colossus enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. Okay, I'm a little worried about that in a gimmicky glass cannon deck, but I mean, it's 7. Like, are you really going to pull it off in Modern? Probably not. You know, in some kind of like 50 land deck is what I'm saying, but I don't know. Actually, a landfall card, some kind of turbo ramp. I don't know. You'd still have to have instants and sorceries. Yeah, nothing's coming to me, but holy tap dancing tits. This is going to be in every single commander deck that has to do with landfall, though. In standard, I think this is playable, but people are kind of backing off landfall a little bit, but it's still in the life gain innkeeper scoot swarm landfall deck that is like whenever ETB gain a life and then run them over with the moon dancing bitch. So next up we got Whispering Wizard. It's a 4-cost 3/2 human wizard, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying because f*** you, the Izzet Guild lives forever. Oh, but wait guys, this ability triggers only once per turn. Like that's gonna stop it. I mean, yeah, I guess in like a true pseudo-storm deck, but let me just translate this, okay? Let me translate this to what it's really gonna do. Every time your stupid net decking cheating douche ass casts Alrund's Epiphany, you get a bonus creature in addition to your stupid f***ing birds. Next, Lantern Bearer, 1/1 for 1, Spirit, Flying, Disturb 3, and when you flip it, it turns into an aura that gives a creature +1/+1. My god, that artwork. If that's the human strategy, they are going to lose. I don't know, let's try actually training the Cathars, let's give them swords this time, and let's develop a really, really shit Air Force. What, I'm just sitting here like garlic cannon? PVC pipe? Hairspray? Cram garlic down it, let's go. You can probably modify it to fire steaks too. Wooden or meat, and vampires probably hate sirloins too. They pretty much hate everything other than acting emo and dressing Metro. But next up we got the Fine Dresser. Really can't beat a classic here, Geralt. So it's a 3-cost spell, blue, inspired idea, sorcery, cleave 5, and draw 3 cards, and then if you didn't pay the cleave cost, you also get the wonderful penalty of your maximum hand size is reduced by 3 for the rest of the game. Okay, that is not playing. 3 cards for 3 mana is insane because, as I stated before, I think in a video recently, 1.5 mana per card is pretty much like the baseline. That's the average. So 3 for 3 is insane, but if you're playing like a card draw deck where you just want to fill up your hand and be at like 7 all the time pretty much, well, this ain't it, chief. Unless you pay 5. So like, would I risk it? Probably. Because I mean, if I'm stuck at 3 mana, or I suppose 4, you know what? Just give me the cards, I'll take the damn penalty. Like, if I don't do something, I'm going to lose, but then if I got 5, well then, give me 3 cards. But then the thing is, well, then it's just like a slight upgrade from Divination. So for 5, it's not even like that good of a spell, but I mean, in the stupid, you know, needs to be banned immediately Izzet deck, you know, the turns deck, yeah, you would have 5, and you could probably use 3. Now, looking at the top 5 and grabbing 1, that's probably more valuable to that deck, so. But don't forget the last in rule, okay? Because we have a couple effects right now in Standard that say you have an unlimited hand size. Well, first of all, unlimited -3 is still unlimited, but the example I always give is if you strap an aura to my creature that says it loses flying, you might think, oh, that's a perpetual, ongoing, unstoppable effect. Well, if I strap an aura to it that says it gains flying, last in wins. So anything that would alter the hand size limit in a positive way, as long as it happened after the fact, should work. Now, if I had an unlimited hand size in the first place and then reduced it by 3, I think that would still be unlimited -3. So it works like both directions. I just wanted to throw that in as like a reminder that it's not undoable. And by the way, the wizard class has it for 1 mana. You now have unlimited hand size, so yeah. So anyway, next up we got Hamlet Vanguard. It's a 3-cost 1/1 human warrior with ward 2, nice. And Hamlet Vanguard enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it for each other non-token human you control. Oh my god, it's literally the joke I make every single D&D session about dual-wielding shields. But he actually did it, the actual Madman Savage. Well, it's a good late game card. You have to be nuts if you run 4 of it. But next up, we got Ascendant Pack Leader. So this is a 1-cost 2/1 wolf in green. Holy crap. And it enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. Hello. If you control a permanent with mana value 4 or greater, so in other words, if it's late game, then whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on Ascendant Pack Leader. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good spell right there. I mean, it's really, really good turn 1, and then it's still usable like turn 10, which I love cards like that. This time they did it without just giving it like overload or whatever, making it cost more mana to get more benefit. To like prove it's late game, you have a creature 4 or greater, or permanent 4 or greater, not just, oh look, I have more mana. So I think this is actually a better way to do it. This is a fantastic card. Too bad the werewolf deck is already really obnoxious. Next up we got Distracting Geist. Good luck, bitch. I could take the SATs with a marching band practicing behind me, but let's see what this do. So it's a 2/1 for 3, and whenever Distracting Geist attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. Well, that's annoying. And then disturb 5. So in white, I mean, not a lot of punch for 3, but boy, that tap effect is insane, especially if they have like 1 or 2 flying blockers or reachers, and you just get rid of it. So on the back, it's Clever Distraction. It's an aura that does the same thing. Hooray! I learned to stop reading them. Next up, we got Edgar's Awakening, which, was he sleeping? Is that a thing? Did he just sleep in that one day, or is he like in like, I'm sure the vampires don't call it hibernation. So it is a story spotlight card, but the flavor text doesn't really give me much. It just says, here you go, can't have you sleeping through your own wedding day. So either he's just not a morning person. Yeah, that's a vampire joke, get over it. Or he was in hibernation. Maybe he was in a suspended animation stasis because he was going to launch himself to Mars to get away from Emrakul. I mean, according to the official lore, he was quoted as saying, quote, bury me. Oh, and additionally, what if I wanted to break? Anyway, what the hell does this do? Alright, so it's a 5-cost, double black, because why the hell not? Sorcery, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. There you go, Resurrector the cost 5. That's your baseline. Boom, vanilla spell right here. But when you discard Edgar's Awakening, why the hell would you do that? You may pay 1 black. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the hand. Okay, 1, if you're going to put Madness on a card, then put Madness on a card. 2, holy shit, this is printed for not standard. And 3, oh my god, if somebody hits me with like a discard spell, I am chucking this directly at their face and dropping in the biggest, baddest motherfucker they ever seen in their life. Because I am so super done with that hand disruption discard shit. You think I get pissed off when you steal one of my cards off the top of my deck or out of my hand? You should see me when you force me to discard 2 Luminarch Aspirants. I might punch you. So neat little trap card. Next up, we've got Patchwork Crawler. So it's a 2-cost blue zombie horror rare, 1/2. So if you pay 3, including 1 blue, exile target creature from your graveyard and put a 1/1 counter on Patchwork Crawler. And then Patchwork Crawler has all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with it. So I love this because right off the bat on turn 2, or whenever you drop it in, I mean, late game it's not very valuable, but, okay, it's not an immediate urgent threat, but it grows over time and becomes more of a threat. So you can choose based on your skill, if you're playing against this, when to blow this thing away with a removal spell. Or if it's me, let's be honest, steal it. So you gotta have stuff in your graveyard, preferably stuff with nice activated abilities, and I think somebody told me activated abilities, like Lifelink is one and Death Touch is one. That doesn't sound right to me, but I don't know. Who knows? So that might be a thing. But yeah, I mean, you can get this thing really big by investing a ton of mana in it. So it's kind of like level up, but I mean, 3, I feel like honestly this should cost like 2. For the ability, I should say. But yeah, I mean, a neat card, I guess. Next up, we got Honored Heirloom. Ooh, fancy anodized aluminum. Well, anyway, drop it in for 3, colorless, you tap it, add 1 mana of any color, then you pay 2, tap it, exile target card from a graveyard. You know why? Because graveyard crap is cancer, that's why. Next up, Stensia Uprising. I bet that's a vampire they're burning. In fact, flavor text says vampires have done nothing but take from us. Tonight, we reclaim what's ours. Yeah, that's a vampire. They set him on fire. How very Chandra-esque. So anyway, it's a double red because of course it is. 4-cost enchantment, and at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 human, a red human creature token. Then if you control exactly 13 permanents, you may sacrifice Stensia Uprising. When you do, it deals 7 damage to any target. Okay, well my estimation when Mark leaked the first half of that sentence was win the game, so I'll take literally anything other than that. So I mean, yeah, 7 blaster for 4 mana is cool, but like, you can't really fully control it, and then, I don't know if you noticed, but you stop getting the red humans because this blew up. Still, I mean, cool card. Next up, this one is in a foreign language, but it is Hero's Downfall. You know what it does, 3-cost double black because, of course, instant, and destroy target creature or planeswalker. I think in like Modern and Commander, this has been displaced by a different card, because last time I checked the price on this, it's nowhere near what it was in Standard. And yeah, actually, I think a black card printed recently, like since this was last printed, was actually better than this, but still, this was so useful. So next up, Dreadful Service, haha funny pun, which I guess somehow translates from another language or into another language, but yeah, it's an enchantment, 3-cost, and rare, black. Whenever you discard one or more cards, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Well, okay, I don't get it. Is there like a self-controlled discard that I don't know about? Because we don't have Madness this time around. I don't know if this is printed exclusively for Madness decks in Modern or something, or like, I don't know. You got me. This is basically useless. It's funny if your opponent hits you with a discard spell, but it's not like they wouldn't see this sitting in play. This should have had added to it, and if this card gets discarded, you get 5 black zombie creature tokens. There, that's an ambush. Now you've activated my trap card. Now we're talking. So next up we got Markov Retribution. Retribute these nuts. I see a shadow of a werewolf there, so you're still gonna get your ass kicked, bitch. Hashtag burn all vampires. So, red sorcery, single red, oh my god, and choose one or both. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn at sorcery speed, though. Or target vampire you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. So, I mean, you know, good, useful, pretty much, you know, draft fodder, you know, useful, just whatever, semi-removal, garbage non-instant speed boost, but it's not nothing. You know, pretty much just something you'd only draft or put in sealed. And finally, we've got mulch. Very important in the gardening world. I go high intensity, so I very rarely need mulch, but So anyway, 2-cost common green sorcery here. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all land cards revealed this way into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Ooh, that's a gamble. It's 2, you might pick up like 4 lands, I mean, who knows, but they don't go into play, so this is ballsy. I kind of like this. The fact that you really probably need it on turn 2, potentially, and it might whiff, I mean, but you might get 4. I mean, I don't typically like things that rely on pure and utter luck as opposed to player decisions and skills. Like, oh, choose one of the 3, like whatever's most relevant, whatever's most useful, or you're choosing when to use a removal spell, or choosing when to drop a board wipe. That's player skill, that's prediction, that's knowing the meta. This, completely and utter random blind luck. But still, I mean, blind luck stuff can be really fun. But, I mean, it's almost always like, oh, I'm playing casual with my friends. Oh, look at this crazy, wacky, you know, suck-out thing I got. Oh, look, I got a perfect draw. I got a perfect whatever. Or, haha, I failed miserably. I lost. Oh, well, shuffle up. That was fun, you know. But ain't nothing fun about this at, like, the World Series, you know what I mean? Or World Championship, whatever the hell they call it. But all the pros are cheating anyway, so it's like, who cares? So kind of a fun card, but kind of a disaster. So that is where I'm going to leave it today. We got, maybe 30 more spoilers that I'm going to do later today, except this time I'm going to actually do it. Hey, I got to be somewhere at like 5 o'clock. After that, I'm coming back and finishing this shit, which means I probably won't be live streaming because I got a little work to do otherwise. But thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.